Hello, in this video I will be explaining what a pull request is and how you can create one as a beginner or a non-developer on GitHub. So the first thing you need to know is that a pull request is a way to propose changes to a code base on GitHub. Code bases are stored in repositories on GitHub. If you don't know what a repository is, you can just click on the nav bar and click on explore, and you will see a list of trending repositories on the right side of your screen, which is here. You can click on any one and you will be inside a repository. Voila. So a pull request allows you to propose updates, changes, or additions to this, and the admin gets to uh, decide whether to merge your pull request with the main or master branch, or they could reject it. They could suggest edits to your proposed addition. They could make comments on it. So pull requests sort of are a way to allow collaboration without necessarily destroying or being able to edit the master branch, the production branch of a software project. Because if everyone can edit the main branch of a project, then it can have serious implications on real life systems that are running. So for the purpose of this demo, I will assume that you already have a GitHub account, of course, and that you have Git and VS Code installed on your system. If you don't, please watch my prerequisite video where I explain the things you need to set up before you can create a pull request on GitHub. Now, like I said, you can, for the purpose of learning, you can use any of the repos you find in your Explore page. I already have a repository in mind to use, so I will be using this repository right here. So the first thing you will want to do when you open the repository that you want to contribute to is to click on fork. Now what fork does is basically create a copy of the repository to your GitHub profile. Now I've already forked that repository, as you can see. So this is the repository, my copy of it. So the next thing you're going to want to do is click on code here and then copy the URL to this repository. Now that we have done that, we need to open our terminal to run some commands. To open your terminal, you press command and the space bar and then search terminal, and then you just open it. So if you are not familiar with using your terminal is sort of an interface you can use to communicate directly with your system operating system. You can create files via your terminal. You can open documents via your terminal. You can do a whole lot of things via your terminal. And so what we're going to be doing is basically finding a location to store the repository that we have. So we've copied the link of the repository from GitHub and we're going to be cloning it to our local system. So sort of downloading it to our local system. And so what I'm here to do right now in this terminal is to find a location or select the location that will be stored. In order to select a location, a directory, you type in the prompt cd in your terminal, and then you can select your documents, downloads, or whatever directory or folder you decide to store this code base in. So I will be choosing documents and pressing enter, and as you can see now we have moved into my documents directory. That's where we're working in right now. So now you type the command git clone and then paste the URL that we copied earlier, and when you press enter, what it does is that it basically clones the repository to your local system, sort of downloads it to your local system. Now if I go to my documents, you will see the folder system monitoring here, and these are all the files within it, as you can see. So now that we have done this, the next thing you need to do is to open VS Code, Visual Studio Code. In VS Code, what you're going to want to do is to click on File and click Open Folder. Now you will navigate to the location of the folder that was stored, after you cloned the repository in your terminal. So you're going to navigate to that folder and click on Open. It's already open here. It's already open in my VS Code, but if it's not open, you click on Open and then it brings you here, and then what you need to do is click on Terminal, then click on New Terminal, and then it opens the terminal part of VS Code where you can type in commands. So now we need to just confirm which branch of the repository that we're in. So I'm going to just type git branch, and then it shows that I am in the master branch. So I'm in the master branch of the cloned or the forked repository. I'm not in the master branch of the original repository. Bear that in mind because I don't have access to the master branch of the main repository. Now I'm going to create a new branch where I will make the change that I want to make. To create a new branch, you need to type the command git checkout b -b, and then you name your new branch whatever you want to name it. Now this particular project has a naming convention. If you want to create add a code enhancement, this is the convention for naming your branch. So I'm going to be basically just following that. Enhancement / I will say docs updates. Yeah, and so now I'm in docs updates. Now inside docs update, I am going to create a directory called docs. So to create a directory named docs, I will type mkdir, which as you can see makes directories, mkdir, and then I will name the directory document, and as you can see it has appeared here, document. I've made the document folder. I will now navigate into the document folder by typing the same command that I typed in the terminal, cd documents, and now I'm inside the document folder. And now I will create a file within the folder, which is the addition that I'm making to this project, system monitoring. To create a file, you type the prompt touch and then the file name. So I will be naming the file instructions.md. .md is an extension for Markdown. So now as you can see, inside of documents there's a new file called instructions.md. When I click on it, I have an editor for Markdown, and I can write Markdown in this editor. So I will just type something random like this is a heading. I will start a list now, and then start a list 1 2 3. Okay, now that this is done, I will come here and navigate back to the directory that I was in earlier, which is system monitoring, by typing the prompt cd ... And now I'm back to system monitoring, as you can see. The next thing I will do is to save. Now I need to save this by pressing Ctrl S, and then I will come to my terminal and type the prompt git add dot, and what that does is that it basically saves the changes that I've made in this file over here. It saves it to the system monitoring, the system monitoring document. And now to check what is up with the system monitoring document, you type git status, and you can see that there is a new file. It shows that there are changes that need to be committed. You can see that there is a new file named document. The folder is document, and then the file inside it is instructions.md. And now all that is left is to commit the change. Committing the change is basically pushing it to GitHub. So to do this, you type git commit -m, and you can add a message like updating instructions for repo. You have to put those in quotations, by the way. And then the very last command we will be typing is git push origin, and then the name of the new branch that we created. And what this does is basically pushes everything that we've done, the new document, the updated system monitoring document. It pushes it to GitHub. So git push origin, and then the name of the new branch that we created here in enhancements /docs update. And then so what this does is this creates a pull request. So now you can see, if you come back to your GitHub, that it will ask you. I've pushed it to my GitHub repo. The changes I made on my local computer, I've pushed them to my repo, and so now you can see you have the option of creating a pull request here. And what the pull request will do is that when you click on compare and pull request, you see that this is the name of the branch that I created here, and this is my version of this repository that I forked. And so this is actually the master branch of the original repository that I am trying to push the change that I've made here into. And so in order to push this change into this, I will create a pull request. Then the admin of the repository can go through my pull request and decide whether or not to approve the pull request. Finally, if your pull request is merged, that is accepted, then you will get a notification that your pull request has been merged into the master branch, and that is basically the end of this demo. Thank you.